So I finally read Hell's Paradise. You guys have been asking me to read this for a while. You're like, oh, you're going to super enjoy it. Going in blind was the best thing that I could do. So this manga wastes no time getting you right into it. We're immediately introduced to the main character, Gabamaru, who's like held captive and basically being sentenced to death over and over and over and over again. This man just will not die. Like, I'm not going to go into all the ways that they try to kill him because I feel like YouTube would not like it. Because, you know, there's an explicit content on the cover, and boy, do they use it. So we are also introduced to Sagiri, but by the end of the first chapter, we realize she has an ulterior motive. I think what this manga does that really blew me away was doing backstory for a main character or any character, but doing it very intriguing and fast. Because by the end of the first chapter, we kind of have enough pieces to piece together why Gabamaru is the way he is. And trust me, he is cold-blooded. There is a reason that he is called the Hollow. Because it's Gabamaru the Hollow. Because he feels nothing. Or does he? So Gabamaru is called the Hollow because he's supposed to not feel nothing. Stone cold killer. Just, he destroys his enemies. That was what he is known for. Also, he is impossible to kill. And I know what you're thinking, like, that trope's been done before in anime and manga so many times. You're 100% right. You know your anime and manga, you are 100% right. But it's done something different, and I think it pulls it off. What it does different, and what I really enjoyed about it, to be honest with you, is it gives him a backstory. It makes you understand immediately. By the end of the first chapter, definitely by the end of the second chapter, you understand why he is what he is. And not only does it do that, by the end of the second chapter, he's grown more than some characters have in like 4 or 5 volumes. Because again, I can't reiterate enough, especially in this first volume, it feels like they were speed running you getting to know these characters and the character development that happens. But not only do I think that it introduces 2 very interesting characters and makes you care about them almost immediately, or at least want to see their journey almost immediately. The art and the violence that is in this first volume, someone who had no expectation. Like, I had heard that it's good, and I had heard like it's getting an anime adaptation, which I don't know how it's gonna get. What rating is it gonna have? Like TVMA for sure. But again, the artwork is stunning. I really, really liked the artwork in this manga. Character designs and the violence and the action was some of the best that I've seen recently. Because I feel like the art, again, hits you over the head that these characters are kind of trash. Like, they're kind of garbage people. And that's what makes him so interesting. Is he redeemable? Like, that's what I got out of this first volume. Is he actually going to be able to redeem himself? Because again, the shinobi or the character that's a killer, John Wick. He's the John Wick of manga. I mean, I don't feel like I'm wrong. But we have seen this so many times. I just think that it nails the, can he actually be redeemed? And does he want to be redeemed? And by the end of the first volume, we have our answer. First chapter is basically him pouting and being like, I want to die, but I can't die. But then Sagiri was like, do you actually want to die? Offers him a pardon, complete pardon, and he can finally go back to his wife. What I really liked about that is she starts off faceless, and then we slowly start to see his face when him as a character wants to actually see her. Because he starts off kind of disowning his wife, like, I don't care about her, she sucks, like, blah, 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 blah. By like the second, third chapter, we realize that she's the only person he ever cared about, and he actually wanted to change for her. But the clan that he was associated with pretty much kept them apart. And even he started to believe, he was like, I wanted this normal life, but I can't have any of that. It's not who I am. And then that's when Sagiri was like, you can have it, and here's a pardon. But you gotta do this one thing. He really is the John Wick of manga characters. Like, the more I have actually talked about it and like heard it out loud, John Wick. With a caveat, like anything, you can have this pardon, but you have to go to this place that we hardly see anybody come back from. Maybe 1 out of 60 comes back from this island, which is where it gets its name, Hell's Paradise. It's a hell, but it's supposed to be paradise. And throughout the first 2 chapters, Sagiri keeps saying to him, I heard you have ninjutsu, and you can do ninjutsu and this and that. And the people that are held him captive are like, oh, no, he will not be pardoned. Like, no, we don't accept that. So they are captured, and one of the best moments of this volume happens, where he goes, you want to see my ninjutsu? Here's a little bit of it. And he just destroys this place. Like, they did not stand a chance, and he looks so cool with, like, flames coming off of him. Oh, definitely a highlight of this volume was that moment. Like, so good. And then it uses pretty much the rest of the chapters to set up what is going to be, I think, at least the main story for this manga, which is a group of criminals are getting sent to this paradise, which allegedly holds the elixir of life, makes people immortal. And the reason that they get criminals is you don't care what happens to the criminals. You care less. They kill people, die, whatever. They don't think they're going to actually come back. But whoever comes back with the elixir of life gets the full pardon. I have a theory. I'm just 1 volume in. I guarantee you, if the elixir of life does exist, and if someone gets it, I guarantee you, they're not going to get pardoned. That's just a theory. I have no idea. I've only read 1 volume, but they seem like a shifty group, you know? So we're introduced to a ton of criminals with a ton of different eclectic taste in how to dismember or basically harm people. If John Wick was in the movie Battle Royale, there you go. That's the example that just popped into my head. That is, like, I feel very similar to what's happening, because it's definitely got a Battle Royale, great movie, but a Battle Royale vibe to it. Plus John Wick. Listen, if you are not excited about the example of John Wick in the Battle Royale island, I don't know what to tell you. You need to get better taste, perhaps, because that sounds incredible, and this manga was incredible. The catch is their hands have to be bound, and they are all assigned basically like a monitor, which is Sagiri is going to be Gabimaru's monitor. And if they get out of hand, or if anything happens, boom, head gone. They're dead. And they are basically a clan that is designed and grew up around dead bodies. She literally says it, like, for medicine, to test swords, to eat? I don't know, I can't remember if she said that. And they even make Sagiri interesting, because everyone already looks down on her in her clan because she's a woman. So it's these 2, like, castaways or cast outs. And she's probably the best that the Yamamata clan has. And they're like, you're a woman? Pusha! Like, dude, have you seen her blade work? She's a monster. In volume 1, she seems like she is at the top of her class. She just continually wants to get better. All the other Yamamata clan somewhat kind of suck and, like, talk down to her. And even the criminals are like, oh, that's a woman, let's try to break out of here. She beheaded them like it was nothing. She's a really good character. And the other caveat is they only will accept pairs into the return ship from this island. So, if your monitor dies, you immediately die. Basically, you both have to return, or neither one of you will return. But the thing about it is, and we do see this, is one of the other monitors, Gabimaru, destroys this man. Like, he's supposed to be this big hulking guy. His hands was bound, and he still easily wiped the floor with this man. And the monitor beheads him. And it's like, oh no, they just have to see that I beheaded him. So I guess it doesn't... When I first read it, I thought it also worked with the monitors. Like, if your person died, the monitor can't come back. I don't know why, but that's not how it works. Criminal-wise, if your monitor dies, you are not allowed back. And they're basically given a description of what's going on in the island because one person out of 60 has returned. Well, kind of. Like, he's like a plant. It looks like he's like half plant, so I'm guessing on the island. And we see this in like the last page of this volume is like the insects have like human faces. So I don't know if there's some poison or some disease that's transferred through, like if these insects, use air quotes because if they got human faces they're not really insects, but these insects like bite you and they transform you or infect you into like a zombie-like plant creature. Kind of reminds me of The Last of Us, like the zombies in The Last of Us. I think that's what's happening to people. I only read the first volume. I don't know yet. I'm very interested in learning more about what's going on this island because there's some type of disease, infection, something is happening on this island that if you get bit or touched, it's over for you. But overall, this manga, especially for volume 1, it starts off so strong. You know how like some mangas you read and you're like, well, give it like 3 volumes and then, oh, now it's this manga. First volume, you're off. Like you're invested in the characters. You're invested in the artwork. Again, I cannot reiterate how well drawn this artwork is. I just really enjoyed it. Like, it's not like the best manga that I've ever seen drawn, but for the story it's trying to tell with the violence and the action and the characters, this art is excellent. It is so well done. I kind of can't wait to see how the anime is going to look because the source material is looking real clean. So hopefully the anime can also look clean. But yeah, I am so glad you guys recommended me to read this and I'm glad I went in blind. Like, this is one of those that I'm so happy. I didn't read really the back of it at all. I didn't look into any information. I was like, let's just read it and see what happens. Thank you so much. I think this was a great first volume. So excited to continue reading this. Hey, you guys did not let me down. Proud of you. I'm proud of every single one of you that recommended me this. Because yes, the story, like I did examples, the story has been done a bunch of times. Battle Royale, John Wick, blah. It could have been cookie cutter. And it could have been just like, oh yeah, it's pretty good for one of those. But the characters that they are trying to develop and the story that they are trying to tell and the way that they are drawing and telling this story is, I think, at least for the first volume, has set it apart from its other types in this genre. Because I have never, in a long time, except for, like that guy, the One Piece, immediately was like, I love this main character. And I love Sagiri. I think she might be one above. I really like her story and what she's trying to do. I cannot wait to learn more about her journey and her story. So yeah, I just wanted to make this like review video basically to be like, hey, Hell's Paradise is pretty good. And you guys did a great job. Again, well done. Good recommendation. Really enjoyed it. Cannot wait to get volume 2 and continue this journey through Hell's Paradise because I was really blown away. It was so fun. It was such fun, good story. Love this manga. So yeah, if you guys have any more manga recommendations, because you're 1 for 1, knocked it out of the park with this one. So let me know because now I wholeheartedly trust you guys. Hey, you have my heart. Here you go. Recommend me anything you want me to read. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you haven't heard about Hell's Paradise, you should really give it a shot. As always, thank you for watching until the end of the video. I wholeheartedly appreciate you, and appreciate you guys liking the videos, commenting, and this video would not have happened if you guys would have never commented and told me, hey, Hell's Paradise is pretty good. So I appreciate you guys so much, and until next time.